Let's try this again. Hi guys, my name is Denise. I am a health freedom activist in Northern California, and I have a website called TheInformedMama.org. I was just on, but I had some issues with family dogs and all that other stuff. So I want to talk to you guys today about SB 276 and Latinos for Medical Freedom and the calls to action that we're doing. Later on, I'm going to have my friend Carmen come on, and we are going to be talking about the educational flash mobs that are happening all across California. It's great information that's coming out, and I want you guys to get involved. So, sorry, I had to run up my stairs, and today's a mess. So, as you guys know, I am part of Latinos for Medical Freedom, an organization that came grassroots because we've noticed within the Latino community, there's a lack of transparency, there's a lack of informed consent, there's a lack of documents that are translated to the Hispanic community, and without proper translation, without proper documents, without proper informed consent, these parents are making decisions for their children without all of the information. I know that this is true because I'm going to get to the flash mob. So many, I go to clinics. So I stand outside of WIC. I stand outside of Human Services. I go to clinics, to the community clinics, and I pass out the information, right? So I pass out information in Spanish. I pass it out in English. And what I found was, when I go to these clinics, you have parents who say, I know something's wrong. I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm scared that they're gonna call CPS on me. Or I'm scared of ICE. We've had people scared to come to the Capitol because they don't have papers. They're illegal. And we're not going to get into the issue of illegal immigration. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is we have a medical community and a community that has to talk about GMOs, that talks about glyphosates, and they're not translating the information in Spanish, and they're not giving these parents the right information to make an informed choice. So that is the reason why Latinos for Medical Freedom was created. It's inclusive to everybody, but the goal is to work within the community that I grew up in, the community that Vanessa and Karina grew up in, because we're the products of parents who came from migrant farm workers. Karina marched with her father. My mother was an organizer for the UFW, and my grandfather, he died from dementia and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's because he picked in the fields his entire life, and they sprayed him. And this is why Latinos for Medical Freedom was created, because there is nothing within the Latino community that is for informed consent. We have politicians after politician after politician promising things for our community, right? It's like a high school presidential debate. You get free stuff, you get free stuff. I promise you sodas in the vending machine, and then the first day they take away the vending machine. Like, we're seeing these candidates use the Latino vote in order to gain their political stance, all the while not doing anything for the Latinos. So that's why it was created. So right now we're fighting SB 276, which is a bill that restricts medical exemptions in California, and it actually removes medical exemption. The damage has already been done. So what we're doing behind the scenes is we are really making sure that our representatives understand the weight of their decision. We are focused on killing the bill. We are not focused on amending it. We're not focused on trying to make friends with our legislators. There is no amending 276. There is nothing good about this bill. This bill must die. And that's what we're trying to do with 276. We are not about amendments. We are about killing the bill. So We have a call to action. We are going to be at the California Medical Board in Burlingame on August 8th. It's 8th and 9th, so it's all day the first day. It's 9 to 2 on the second day. So if you are able to come, wear a red shirt, and soon, very, very soon, we're waiting for them to come in, the shirts for Latinos for Medical Freedom. And we want everyone to join in and to show them we are locking arms. You are not going to bully us. You are not going to coerce us. We are not going to sit here and beg and plead for you to amend a bill that should never have been introduced in the first place, because that bill is based on lies. That bill is based on the fact that doctors are selling medical exemptions, when in the state of California, the California Medical Board has never, ever reprimanded a doctor for selling exemptions. So we are not amending this bill. We call it a SEAL Team 6, myself, Karina, Vanessa, Heidi, Tara, and Stephanie. We are locked arms to kill the bill. We will not be supporting amendments. It's important that everybody get on board with the fact that we are here to fight, boots on the ground, and that's what flash mobs are. So I don't know if you guys remember, a couple months ago I did a call to action to everybody in California who can, please go and protest your public health offices, because public health is lying, public health is not giving the true information, and we yellow vest it. So we went in front of California Public Health and we demanded to be heard. We were seen. It was a great event. The next one, we did the newspapers, and then I did Dr. Stoller, because there's a witch hunt for our doctors. So little flash mobs were beginning to pop up. So we're there for about an hour. We passed out educational information on what the SB 276 is, information on informed consent. So we were just passing it out. The reason why we need it is because we need the public to start understanding that this bill is not a vaccine bill. It is a bill to restrict our privacy in California. This is so far beyond vaccines. So far beyond vaccines. This isn't even has anything to do with vaccines. This is about medical freedom, our right to privacy. They want to interfere with our right to privacy by taking our children's medical information and putting it on a database. That database will be shared, intertwined between schools and public health. It is an unsecured database, and we're seeing that just with the credit card companies alone, millions of people have had their information stolen online. And now they want to take our children's medical records and put them on the same database, and those records follow our children for the rest of their lives. This is a huge breach in privacy, a huge breach in security, and we have to make sure that our representatives know the weight of their decision. California has one of the highest rates of Hispanic Latino votes. When you restrict these exemptions, it's going, and I'm in Stockton. So our income level here is $35K a year, while our cost of living has completely increased and our crime has increased. Education level here is about 9th grade. There's high school graduates, but if you go onto our county's site, it shows there's a huge margin there. It's 9th grade. A lot of them are, factory workers, warehouse workers. In Salinas, they're farm workers. Who do you think this bill is going to affect? My community cannot afford to homeschool. They can't afford to put their children in a certain daycare because they can't afford it. They are getting paid, and that's max $35,000. How do you think it's going to affect our workers, our factory workers, our union workers, our fruit, our produce? These women are going to have to stay home and take care of their sick children. We have such a high rate of illnesses here in San Joaquin County. What do you think is going to happen now? Now that these children are already sick, are immunocompromised, and now you're going to force them to take their medical exemptions away. This is a complete attack on a community that is dependent on farm working, on factory working, on working because they have not had the opportunity to have higher education. So this is a problem in California. The representatives here are misaligned with the Latino community. And I understand it affects absolutely everybody. It affects the working blue collar families. It affects the below poverty level. It affects the families who do have disabled children. They don't care. So now it's time to make them care. And I'm going to bring on, I hope she's watching, my friend Carmen. So I met Carmen, there she is. I met Carmen at a rally, and she was just a fiery little firecracker. And she's like, I am done with having these people tell me what to do. I am done with having the government overreach. And she got that microphone. She spoke in Spanish. She was ready to go. Carmen has been our boots on the ground for Northern California. She has created, along with the team, my friend Alyssa has also created it. But there's a group of people who are creating flash mobs, educational mobs. So it's a group of people who come together for an hour, hand out information, and then disperse. So this is really important because the public doesn't quite understand what's happening within our California legislators. They don't understand that these reps are not reading bills that they're passing. Hi, Carmen. I sent you an invitation, so if you can accept it, I'm going to bring you on. So I sent you an invitation. Oh, you know what? Hold on. That was an invitation to watch. There you go. I'm going to add you now. So I'm going to have her on to discuss what kind of flash mob she's doing and her experience at Comic-Con, because she was at Comic-Con, her experience at, I'm going to let her, I forgot which other one that she was on. There she is.
Guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, whatever you want to tell the audience watching, so we can get into what these flash mobs are.
Okay, so my name is Carmen. Everybody knows me as a mom of 7. I have 4 vaccine injured, and I've been in this since 2014, but I was complying. I was complying like all of us. I was doing what we were being told to do. I got medical exemptions. I lost a lot of nights, crying myself, figuring out how my kids were in the future going to go to school and what I was going to do. By choice, I have homeschooled, but I know that that's not necessarily an option, like Denise was saying, for everybody, no matter what your economic status is. And also, at the end of the day, I want it to be a choice for our children. Having 7 children, I know that some kids want to homeschool for 4 years, and then all of a sudden they want to play football for the high school. That happened to my son that graduated from homeschooling in 2018. He went and he played football for Whitney High School. So at the end of the day, I want our freedoms back. Whether we all choose to homeschool or not, it doesn't matter. Our freedoms are being taken away, and it's not okay. And I'm here for our Hispanic community. My first language is Spanish. I have been a translator in many facets of my life, both professionally and for missionaries trips in Mexico for big organizations. But I'm here. I'm here with Denise. I'm here with all of our fellow warriors to just do what we got to do to get these things done.
That's great. And one thing I absolutely love is that you do this as a team with your husband.
Yeah.
We need our men, and we're seeing that. We're seeing now, we were just at Cal Expo, and your husband's amazing. Like, he's on board with you. He supports you. So let's talk about how that happened.
Well, he's been my best friend for 25 years. We've been married for 24 years, and he, like any other husband, was very skeptic at first when the word homeschool was thrown out, when the word vaccines was thrown out. Again, for those of you who don't know, I vaccinated for 18 years. So when we're out there at the state fair, or we're out there at Comic-Con or at Disneyland, hey, listen, I vaccinated. I vaccinated. My kids just got injured, and that's just a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But he started getting informed, and uh, we see the need, as moms are just showing up by ourselves sometimes. He's seeing the need that dads need to be the papa bears, kind of like we're being the mama bears. And it's a huge sacrifice. We're a one income family. I'm a stay at home mom, and he is a real estate agent for our Placer County, Sacramento County. And we don't get days off. We can't call in and get that day off if he goes here, there, wherever. But it's a huge sacrifice that we're doing for our children, and we feel for future generations. And um, every time there's a family that you see that light bulb turn on, even with, in his presence and stuff, we've done our job by saving that family, by saving that child. And it right there, there's no money in the world that can, you know, pay for saving a life of somebody else that maybe won't get vaccine injured like our kids are.
And one thing that I've noticed, I have a really hard time around people. I have a really hard time going up to people. It's just an anxiety that I have. Carmen, you go up to absolutely everybody. Like, there's no fear in your heart. There's no, completely leads with love. And I want to talk about the family that you met at Cal Expo, the little boy that you prayed over. Um,
Yeah.
for a lot, and this is we all have a fear of going up to people in public, but you never know what you're going to get. You never know exactly whose life you're going to change. So what happened that day?
So that day was a Sunday, and for our family, Sundays are pretty like reserved because we're pretty open to serving our community and stuff like that. But Sundays is family day. My little girl is on the praise and worship team at Destiny Christian here in our area, and she went to church because she had to go to church. And when I picked her up, she says, Mommy, we're kind of missing church. You guys are kind of missing church a lot. And I took a moment to reflect, and I said, honey, because I knew it was going to be hot that day. That day was like 103 or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, churches are air conditioned and they're comfy. And my boys going to the child care, and it's fun. It's great. I love it. And it's my second home. My church is my second home. But I was trying to explain to her that on that particular Sunday, just like Jesus went out to the streets, we needed to be out in the streets, and we needed to be vulnerable, and we needed to be transparent. And that was my mission for that day. Um, I actually was, uh, when we were on our way over there, I was planning like everybody else, standing there with our signs. And when we arrived, we had the police telling us we had to stay within what they call the freedom box, within a few lines. But that wasn't enough for me. People walk by and they read the signs, but then it goes away. But something about, and it's something our society is losing as a whole. We lose that personal, like, to make that sorry, I'm getting emotional. To make that eye contact and to really hear the story of a mom is something else. So I took it upon myself to just walk up to people. And if they listen, they listen. But honestly, I'd say 90% of the people were willing to listen. If I would so much hear them speaking Spanish, les empezaba a hablar en español, y ahí vamos. Les quería decir mi historia y el dolor que yo he sufrido por las vacunas que han dañado a mis hijos. I would begin to tell them just my heart, like, listen, I vaccinated. We're here not to convince you about anything, but to support us in our medical freedoms. And a lot of them were like, again, 90% of them in my experience that day was very receptive, like, wow, you're telling the truth. But their question was always, what do we do about school?
Yeah.
Because it's what Denise said earlier. A lot of them don't have that luxury to homeschool, or they don't. That's really, really new. Homeschooling is really new, and it can be very scary. Even for somebody like myself who has several degrees, it's like, homeschooling? How am I even going to homeschool junior high and high school? So I get it. And I get it for the Blacks and Latinos. Like, that's just, a lot of us just got to work. We don't have that freedom to be able to like have a homeschooling room and meet with an ST or build a community. So it's just foreign to them. But just the seeds of, guys, our babies are getting hurt. And a lot of them were just like really, really open to it. But that particular family, it was a female African American gal, and she just resonated with everything that I was saying. She goes, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And she just had so much regret in that moment. Like, how can I have let them, you know, hurt my little boy? And the little boy was standing there. And I said, baby, you're okay. You're going to be fine. Because I could sense that he almost got scared because of her fears
Right.
and her admitting that he could potentially had been harmed by the shots that she's already been given to him, right? And so he goes, can you pray for me? And I was like, okay. But we were, you know, his mom was all fired up and I was like engaging in that moment. So I was like fired up with her and, you know, dropping truth bombs and letting her know, you know, our choices and our rights and what's really going on, you know? And then at the end of it, he says, can you pray with me? And I said, I got to take a picture first because I'm a picture person. I love taking pictures. So I took a picture with him and I asked his mom first. I said, is it okay if I pray with him? And is it okay if I take a picture? She says, yeah, 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 yeah. And she was just pumped. Like she almost was like, I can't wait to tell my sister and I can't wait to tell my family. And so I prayed with him and it was just such an awesome day. Like, you know, so many people. And even towards the end, speaking of my husband again, he goes, we can't stop. We can't seize these moments all the way to the car. Let's hold our signs. I was like, okay. Because we had him in a wagon.
Yeah.
We have all the
You have
signs
so
that,
many signs.
uh,
It's so great. I
yeah.
love it.
And we ordered vests from all the donations that all of you guys have given us. We have signs ready for everybody. But he said, let's get our signs. So him and Nisha had the signs. And there was like 10, 10 Latinos coming forward. And I could tell they spoke Spanish. And my husband's laughing because he goes, of all the Hispanics, you look like the white girl. And they opened up their eyes like, what is she saying? I'm like, you know, amigos, da, da, da. And I just went off, you know, and then they circled in and they're like, you're so right. You're so right. So it's there, you
Yeah.
know, it is there.
The idea is there, and a lot of parents just need that flashlight in the corner. Like, and we're not telling you not to vaccinate, right? We're not going up to you and saying stop all
No,
vaccines right now.
no, 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 no.
It's,
It's
did you
medical
know?
freedom. It's freedom of choice.
Right. And that was the theme of this flash mob was, did you know? Because we want people to understand, did you know that these children are sick? Did you know that these children will not qualify for a medical exemption? Did you know that now we are creating homeschool co-ops for you guys so you don't have to depend on the state to take care of your children? And already in the Latino community, it's already unnerving to have people raising your children, especially with the sex ed thing going on right now.
Oh.
The our family unit, and I speak from the Latino community because that's where I'm from. I can't speak from another background, but we are very tight in our family. We are very much about respecting each other, about the family unit. And we're seeing now that California is trying to break up that family unit. So for all the, you know, because I got a couple people flipping me off because I was on the sidewalk and I was holding up my signs and people were flipping me off and saying polio. For every person that was saying something like that, you were talking to 5 more people who were saying, that light bulb just went off. I agree with you. Let's figure out how to go from here. So, so many people are so scared to be shut out from the public, right? They don't want rejection. They don't want someone to yell at them. But what you did was you woke up, I don't know how many people, because now those people are going to go talk to more people. So I know you had to deal with a lot of really nasty comments when you went to other mobs like Comic-Con, and you saw real life trolls, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
You know, those types of things, I really encourage people not to engage. You know, don't engage with people yelling at you. Don't engage with people talking about you or whatever. The engagement is the conversations, the eye to eye, the heart to heart, mother to mother, woman to woman, father to father. That's what we're missing when we're on social media putting up our information.
Right.
It's time to go into the communities and start talking to our community. So what's next? I know you have another flash mob going on.
Yeah, we have one this Friday, which is Pan's District, which is let's kill it. There. A lot of his people are there. It's called First Fridays in Natomas, and so we are excited. We're reaching out to the Slavic community, to several of the communities, and I hope everybody shows up. I don't care what you wear. You could wear your yellow shirts. I'm wearing my yellow shirt today. You could wear your red shirts. I have the vests if you need them. We're gonna have the signs. It's in the evening from 5 to 8. Bring your kids, bring your husbands, bring your grandfathers. There's grandmas and grandpas showing up
Yeah.
now. People always ask me, Carmen, but I don't have little kids. I'm like, guys, this is greater. Like, we're next. Like, let's unite because this is greater than what any of you guys understand. So, and everybody's showing up. We've been doing, so that one's this Friday at Natomas. It's called First Fridays from 5 to 8. And then the next one we're going to hit up is going to be in Galt at the Galt Flea Market on the Tuesday. Hold on. Tuesday, the 20th of August. And we're going to hit up that community over there in Galt. We've been doing the Roseville markets. Obviously, you guys know we did Comic-Con. My husband did Disneyland. We're trying to hit everywhere we go. Just there's a gal, part of our movement, Cindy, and the day that we had to get going from the Tuesday night market, because I have stood there on the corner, and there was another dad this last Tuesday that showed up, and he was just him and his little girl. Like, we have to be bold, we have to rise, and we have to unite. Like, let's just do this. I know it's uncomfortable. The common denominator for all of us is anxiety. I get it. I run the group for almost 700 of us. I've been a mom for 24 years. I get anxiety. I've even had anxiety just when Denise invited me, and I'm like, wait a minute, she didn't even tell me what I'm going to be talking about. But you know what? You know what I always go to is just let your heart talk. People, I'm glad a lot of us are very versed on statistics and numbers and this and that, but the average person, they just bring it down to the basics. Just tell them, all we want is our freedoms. And they're like, really? A lot of the nurses, especially, or doctors, they come up, no, 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 I'm all pro-vaccine, da, 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 da. And I'm like, listen, it's not about that. It's not about that. And then I bring them back down, and they're like, well, yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Freedom. Like, you should have your freedom to choose. If your kid can't, they can't.
Right. And some children just cannot. Those are the children who have medical exemptions. And these are the children who are going to be maimed because Senator Pan and Lorena Gonzalez like to lie and say that doctors are selling exemptions. It's untrue.
Exactly.
They have no citations for this. These are the children that are under attack, and they're demonizing our kids. They're making our children look like they're unwanted, they're unneeded, and now in New York they can't even ride the bus. That's what's going to happen here. So the only goal that we have is not to tell you not to vaccinate. The goal that we have is to make sure that you understand our freedoms are at stake. And if it happens in California, it's going to happen in every single state. So I appreciate your boots on the ground. This is the most important work that we could ever do. Our legislators don't listen to us. People want to listen to lobbyists. Parents are the most important lobbyists in this movement. Parents calling, parents emailing, parents being boots on the ground and being in the community and getting the community to stand behind us, because it affects absolutely everybody, not just the vaccine community.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Is there anything that you would like to add to your mobs or your movements, whatever you're doing in your area?
No, not really. Just if we could all just, continue to stay united and show up when you can. I always tell everybody we all have different strengths. Somebody was good at ordering the signs for me. Somebody is good at showing up at the waters. Somebody can't come to these rallies, but they're at home writing the letters and sending them. Somebody is good at, being on the phones, but it takes all of us. We're a village. Real quick, I want to have my husband here because he's been a part of this all.
Hello.
Thanks for being there. We need our daddies. We need the ones to stand in front of the mothers and make sure that we aren't. And one thing I want to say, men have a really nasty habit of coming up to the women at these rallies and kind of making them feel bad or yelling at them. But I've noticed now dads are starting to come, and then the dads get in, and the dads move the moms out of the way. It's like, you want to talk, then let's talk. And that brings them down a notch. So I know I've seen you talk to some dads and make sure that there are some men, make sure that they're not harassing the moms. And that's what we need. We need people, we need our daddies to come out and protect the mothers who are protecting the cubs. So thank you for being involved. I appreciate you guys so much.
Just men being there in general, just stop a lot of drama. I don't know. It's like when you take your car to the mechanic, right? The woman gets like, she needs a whole new engine when she just needs an oil change.
Right.
Well, the same thing happens. I always joke around with her. All the drama happens when I'm not there.
It does.
But when it's just her, she always has the drama. So it's just, I'm only 5'8". I'm not like a big dude, but the reality is, my presence still stops a lot of issues going on.
Well, and they're your baby too. We're all in this together.
It really does. It balances. Okay, so you want to conversate, you want to talk to us aggressively, right, to try to make us back down. But now we got the dads involved. So I was like, you know what? It's your guys' turn now. It's your guys' turn to start bringing out the big guns while we do this on this side. Everybody has a place in this community. Everybody. You all have a piece of this puzzle. So I'm grateful to you guys as a couple and as Californians coming together to unite for medical freedom. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate you. It takes all of us to do something.
It does. It really does. So thank you. I'm going to share your information. I'm really excited. If you guys want to find her, it's Carmen. Is it Del Castillo? Is it together or is it separate? So go on,
Separate.
find her, friend her. What's the name of your group?
It's very private for obvious
Okay,
reasons, so
okay.
we have to get vetted in and agree to certain things. I'm just very careful of our community, and we just have to be. So, but yeah, friend me, send me a message. I'll add you to the group so you're on top of all the rallies that we have. We're trying to do at least once a week. I kind of like to keep it organized and gathered, and that way, in numbers, we look a little bit better.
Yeah.
And with our signs, it's great to show up whenever you can, but when we can show up in numbers, it's that much better.
Absolutely. And that's going to show people that we are growing. We have to show that we're growing in numbers, not that we're dwindling, because then it makes others get brave and want to come out and speak up. That's just the way people are. They want to see you do it first before they do it.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you again, Carmen. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go camping with you guys too. That's going to be so much fun.
Love you, friend. All right. Bye.
All right, bye. Have a great day. Let's see. How do you? All right, guys. So she's on Facebook, Carmen Del Castillo, DEL space Castillo. Please go out and look for her and follow her. She's from Northern California, the Sacramento area. And again, daddies, come out. I see Jason watching. I'm seeing a group of men who are sick and tired of seeing the mothers being the warriors out there on the street and getting cut down by the men. I'm 5 feet tall. Like, I'm 5 feet tall. I'm not going to say my weight, but I'm small. So when you have a 6-foot guy coming up to me and trying to bully me, it's going to look, I'm not going to challenge a man. But how great is it to say, you know what, to the dads, they want to talk to somebody. Let's go. So dads, come out. This is about patriotism. This is about loving your country. This is about protecting your country, because if you don't protect your country, the government is going to you. So we need our patriots. We need our men who are tired of seeing the women get bullied. We need our men to stand in the front lines. And this is the most important thing that we can do. And on Monday, I'm going to be talking to James, who is a daddy in Santa Cruz, and he headed up the Santa Cruz Californians United for Freedom, and he's going to talk about his experience being a dad in the movement and heading up these organized protests instead of just having our moms, because when we're mamas and we have our babies strapped to us and we have our strollers, we don't look very intimidating. You know, we don't look very like we're going to make a difference. But when you have those dads getting sick and tired of what the government is trying to do to our mothers and our children, it's game time. It's time to start standing up. So I'm really excited to talk to James. Carmen and her husband are absolutely amazing. So tune in on Monday at 11 o'clock, and I'm going to start interviewing daddies. If you're a dad in this movement and you're a dad who's a patriot, who loves his country, who loves his mother or the mother of his children, and who loves his children, then reach out to me. I will love to have you on, because it's time to start bringing the dads out from the woodworks. It's almost time for the dads to start hitting the streets. So message me and we'll put you on. Real quick before I leave, I will be in Southern California on Friday in Orange County at a health summit with Jamie Lynn Juarez and Brittany Cara. There we are going to be talking about kind of what now. Regardless of these bills going on, we still have to know in California how we're going to make money, how we're going to pull our children from the system, how we're going to pull our families out of the system. And that's what this health summit is. It's not so much talking about 276. We know what 276 is. We know what this draconian bill does. But what now? What are you going to do now? So it's our problem solution based health summit. That's going to be in Orange County on Friday from 6 to 9. And then I really encourage this. So I did this little thing. I'm hosting a dinner here in Stockton, and it's conspiracy truths and dinner and drinks. The reason I did this is because we need our community to start coming together and start making friends outside of Facebook, start making friends in person and building those relationships, because I'm going to need you guys very, very soon. I can't tell you what's coming, but I'm going to need you guys very, very soon in droves. So what's the best way to do that? Is you create a community of friends. So my dinner is going to be the 10th in Stockton. And then I have another one in in Norwalk on August 10th. Yes, in Norwalk. It's just going to be a lunch. And this is a time to come and be friends and look at us eye to eye, understand and build that rapport. So if you're not in my area, you can still do a dinner. Create a dinner of conspiracy truths. Come together, start talking to each other, start building a friendship, nothing's better than looking a fellow activist in the eye to understand where they're coming from. Because this is going to take friendship. It's going to take rapport. It's going to take a community to show up when we need you to show up. And I'm going to need you guys to show up. I will have a call to action soon. But these are the things that, simple, easy to do. Make dinner reservations. Everybody come, have some drinks, have some food, and talk about strategy. Talk about the truths that are happening, because there's nothing worse than being somewhere where people don't believe you. These dinners, everybody believes you. Everybody understands where you're coming from. And I'm here to help guide you guys to where your place is in this movement, because everybody has a place in this movement. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're good, like Carmen said, if you're good at letters, if you're good at phone calls, if you're good at making flyers, if you're good at making informational posts, these are the things that we all need. And the only way to do that is to build a community. So I will see you guys in Orange County on Friday. I'm coming back to an event on Saturday, and then I'm going back out to LA the following weekend to meet my Norwalk people. So thank you guys so much for always listening and always sharing. Thank you, Carmen, and to your family for being extremely brave and for being boots on the ground, because that's what we need. We are going to kill 276. We will not amend the bill. We will not comply with the bill. We will not make this the best bad bill we know how. We're going to kill it. And the only way we can kill it is if we have people who are willing to come here, go to the medical board meetings, go to these flash mobs, educate the public, go to hearings, call the reps, make appointments with these representatives, not to beg, not to say, please, please, please listen to me. It is to say, I am your constituent and I will bring everybody with me. This is an election year. You don't want to be out of line with what most of California feels like. All of California wants their freedom. All of California wants the government out of their body, out of their decisions and away from their children. This is the goal of what Latinos for Medical Freedom is. It's to give you your rights, let you understand what your rights are, help you learn how to navigate through getting out of the system, and how to talk to your legislators to no longer beg, no longer plead, no longer ask. We're no longer asking for permission. We're taking what's ours, and that's our freedom. So I will talk to you guys again later. I will see James on Monday. It's super exciting. And then I'll go live with, I think tonight I'm going to go live with LMF, Latinos for Medical Freedom. And we're going to talk to you guys about our calls to action. So have a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.